Hello everyone, I'm Kibin Alleyne and today is Tuesday, May 21st. You're now watching Open, a program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to you. Don't forget to stay connected with us via social media at BronxNet TV. Montefiore Einstein partnered with the Wildlife Conservation Society to host the annual Run for the Wild event, a 3 to 5K run that not only aims to protect wildlife but also serves as an inspiration for New Yorkers to head to the Bronx and get active. Associate Vice President of Community Affairs at Montefiore, Melissa Cebollero, joins me to discuss. Melissa, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Now, can you tell us a little bit more about the collaboration between Montefiore and the Bronx Zoo, and how did that collaboration begin?
Montefiore Einstein and the Wildlife Conservation Society are both anchor institutions in the borough of the Bronx with well over 100 years serving the population in the region. The Bronx Zoo kicked off their 125th anniversary with the Run for the Wild event, and Montefiore started in 1884 in Upper Manhattan. So we celebrate our 140th anniversary this year proudly, and moved up to the Bronx in 1912. So well over 100 years in the Bronx as our home base. I think just having that connection as anchor institutions, with one institution focused on human science, the other on animal sciences, it made sense to join efforts. And in fact, the two institutions have been collaborating in somewhat of an official capacity for well over 2 decades, dating back to the Michael Bloomberg administration.
Now, although these are, organizations in the Bronx that have been here for years, sometimes people from the Bronx may not know more about these organizations besides, what they provide. So can you tell us a little bit more about WCS's Run for the Wild, and why did Montefiore choose to support this movement for over a decade?
So, Run for the Wild is one of the Wildlife Conservation Society's biggest fundraisers of the year. It's hosted at the Bronx Zoo, and it is an attempt to dedicate fundraising efforts to a specific species. So, this year it focused on the snow leopard, an animal that is facing extinction and is really challenged in the moment. So, all of the monies that were raised specifically for the 16th annual Run for the Wild would be dedicated to research and conservation efforts for that particular species.
Now, this year's race was extra special because, as you mentioned, the Bronx Zoo is celebrating its 125th anniversary. How was it being a part of this tremendous celebration?
I mean, it's a proud moment for Montefiore Einstein. We have a very active community engagement portfolio, which includes sponsorship and support of really strategic initiatives, events, and opportunities in the regions where we have a presence. Run for the Wild was a natural collaboration and partnership. It is a family friendly event that encourages fun physical activity. Families were able to walk the 3K run or walk throughout the Bronx Zoo grounds with their children. Some were walking behind them, some were on scooters, some were in strollers. And then of course you have your avid runners, your more competitive runners that were there for the 5K run that kicked off early at 8 a.m. That Saturday morning. It just makes sense. It is something that celebrates an anchor institution in our borough. It is something that encourages family and community engagement. And then, of course, the physical activity component is something that we value in reminding our community members that you can get physical activity that's fun and free and family friendly.
Now, what impact have you seen the race have on the community in the Bronx?
I think the race brings people together in a way that is unique for us at Montefiore. Since we are sponsors, we proudly put together a Montefiore team that participates in the run and the walk. And then, of course, we are really proud of the team that comes on site the day of the event and just engages with the close to 5,000 participants that come through the zoo that day. and all of the community members that come to cheer their family members along.
Now, you talked about that on-site presence, which kind of shows, and it's very important that Montefiore, Montefiore's involvement went beyond just sponsorship. Can you talk a little bit more about having that presence in the community, and how did Montefiore's involvement further promote a sense of community?
So the Office of Community Affairs takes a great effort to make sure that when we are collaborating, when we become part of some sort of a community event or engagement or initiative, that we are injecting as much substance as possible and strategic substance. So wherever we have a presence, we really look at the social determinants of health that that particular event or engagement is addressing, and we do our best to connect the expertise and the resources that are available within our hospitals and our health system to that engagement and the target population. So for something like Run for the Wild, where we knew there would be families, there would be participants of all ages, and there would be probably some athletes, we wanted to have a presence that served all of that. So we were able to have our Burke Rehabilitation Hospital, a premier rehab facility for all types of injuries, any type of surgery that requires rehab post-op. Burke is located in White Plains, but it is a member of the Montefiore Einstein family. And so, given their expertise, it made a lot of sense to ask them to join us. They tabled, making sure people were aware of all of their incredible services, some that are preventative, and then, of course, some if you should find yourself in an unfortunate injury or post surgery situation. We had a volunteer nurse from our Department of Cardiology that was there to speak and answer questions about hypertension. We understand that people who exert physical activity have to be aware of signs of an excessive heart rate or maybe some labored breathing. And so she was there to guide people, answer their questions, make sure that folks that are participating in physical activity are doing it in a safe way. And then we had our clinical trials office, and the leader there, Dr. Marla Keller, she wanted to have sort of a team building exercise, a community service exercise. And so she asked the members of her team to volunteer on site. They helped us distribute the handy dandy gym towels that we give out at Run for the Wild. As people approach us, they're usually pretty hot and perspiring. And we also had some beautiful branded reusable totes. Inside of those totes were uh, beautiful pieces of literature about some of our more advanced uh, specialties that are available within the region. So that team came to help us and to be a really important part of our on-site presence. But for them, it was a team building exercise. It was a moment for the associates to come together outside of the work environment, do something that's meaningful, give back to their Montefiore Einstein community, and get to know each other in a different way as colleagues and associates.
Now, it's so amazing to hear about, the ways that you supported the community through this event. Can you detail some of Montefiore's upcoming plans to assist the Bronx community on their journey to health?
Well, we are proudly the top corporate sponsors of Bronx Week. And so we are in the middle of that 13-day celebration that the Office of the Bronx Borough President and the Tourism Council puts on every year. We just completed Health Day, is the signature event for Montefiore Einstein as part of Bronx Week. We were at the Northeast Bronx YMCA. Close to 2,000 community members came through on Saturday and were exposed to a myriad of services, community health education, physical activity, and then a really nice component that this year included was a partnership with the NYPD and their baby shower initiative, which focuses on maternal health. So there was an entire portion of that Health Day event that was solely dedicated to prenatal services, expectant moms, and early childhood health in the gym of the Northeast Bronx YMCA. So it was just a lovely way to celebrate the Bronx and highlight the health services and resources that are available here. We will do that again on Sunday, May 19th, at the grand finale of Bronx Week. There is a pride parade, a concert, and a health pavilion. So all of the health providers that support Bronx Week will be co-located on Mashalu Parkway.
Mhm.
Will be offering skin cancer screenings
Yes.
free.
Well, I
Uh,
definitely, sorry to interrupt because we are, towards the end, but I want to thank you so much, for joining us and having this conversation. And we'll definitely direct people to where they can learn more about all that Montefiore is doing. So once again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
To keep up with all of Montefiore's efforts, please go to their website at montefiore.org. Don't go away. We'll be back with more Open after this.